9:30, we'll call the meeting to order. First item is approval of the agenda. I'll move to approve. Second. All those in favor, say aye. 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 Those opposed? Minutes, February 21, 23 board meeting. Move to approve. Second. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Those opposed? This is a time, place, and date set for the public hearing on max levy notice for FY 23-24. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll move to open the hearing.
Second. Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? All right, Kelly, is there any written or verbal comments that you've received? Anyone in the public like to speak on any of this? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll move to close.
Second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Aye. Those opposed? All right, resolution number 13, 2023, max levy FY 23-24. As I explained to Chad yesterday with it, it's you hate to call it a shot in the dark, but with everything moving and going on right now, that's essentially what it is. We do foresee this levy actually going down. Once we set this today, it can't go above and beyond that, and even some of the stuff that's still being worked through at the state level probably won't affect us so much. The court services, as Kelly said, if we move it from supplemental into general, we're lowering supplemental and just working through the general, so that really doesn't do much of anything to us max levy wise. So
that's just for the dollars. That doesn't have anything to do with the levy rate, because the levy rate could go up. I mean, from what we first proposed, but we just can't go over the dollar amount.
anything else you want to add? Any questions?
Brian, do you guys feel like your hands are continuously being tied by these levy rates, 350? Other counties, I know you mentioned, have gone over that because that's what they need to do to be able to pay what they need to pay and make the requests that they need to request. But I mean, here, do you feel like each year it gets a little tougher to stick to that? Because I know you guys have taken a lot of pride in really sticking to that and keeping those rates lower for people.
Right, I absolutely, yes. I think every year, and you've heard me say this numerous times, that when state legislature goes into session, what would you like to see them do? Adjourn. And I think it practically gets worse and worse. And we was talking today, are they angling toward the consolidation of counties, the ending of counties? I mean, when you start looking at everything from the mental health levy stuff to the court or judicial systems, it's we dissolved our region, which was Wapello, Mahaska, Davis, and Appanoose for the mental health, and combined in with Seal, which is in the western, or excuse me, the eastern side, Burlington, Fort Madison, Mount Pleasant, because of the state said more or less that's what they're gonna do. And with the restructuring and shuffling at the state level, which I don't think is all bad, but it's year after year we send people to Des Moines that's never sat in this seat or in the seat in City Hall or in a school board budget meeting, and they feel they know better than the people that face citizens every day right here. And you can take that as a slam or not. It is what it is. It's the truth. And it gets pretty frustrating year after year to be told you don't know what you're doing. And I think just with this, yes, there's a lot of counties. Kelly, what would you guess? 70% of the counties over the 350 levy?
I would probably say that, yes.
The ones that aren't have valuations, billions of dollars over ours. So, it's an apples and oranges, and us being in rural Iowa, you know, where our growth is stymied from a lot of different things. We don't have those valuation growth, and it's not just Wapello County or Tumwa, it's everyone in our area and region. So yeah, it is something I'm proud of for my time on the board, that we've never went over that 350 levy. That was a ceiling. That's what it was. That's what we had to stick to, and we made those cuts. We made those decisions, popular or not, to stay in line with that. This bill passes. I don't know how, you know, a Davis County or an Appaloosa County or some of these other areas survive. I mean, you're cutting people. When you got to lower $1.20 off your general basic, that's a lot. So yeah, I think more and more local control is going away, and it's a shame on all, whether you're on up here as a board or city council or school board. So,
Cause I mean, I know you mentioned, you know, the cost of everything is going up, and if you stick to this 350 levy. Well, if the costs are rising, you're gonna have, I mean, would you have to cut things to be able to get those in line if you
Right.
have to stay at 350? I mean, is that kind of the worst case scenario really for the county?
yes, that's the worst case. So, you know, we have our carryover balances that are healthy now, but I would say in 2 years, it's not going to be healthy. I mean, we're looking at using a pretty big chunk this year to get the things done that we need to get done. And when you're talking people and salaries, those are reoccurring expenses. You know, it's not just buying a truck or equipment that, okay, we're buying it now, we're good for 5 or 6 years. You know, so didn't mean that toward you, but
I just know.
we had a meeting last Thursday about road graders and, you know, the $1 million+ that we're gonna have to spend at some point to keep our equipment on the road. We got some stuff that's 20 years old
Yes.
now.
Yeah, we need to replace 3 motor graders, $1.1 million.
So in the end,
And that's 2 used, rebuilt, 1 brand new.
right. So in the end, ultimately, we're told here, and as they say, it rolls downhill. We're told here, and then it's up to us to make those cuts. So then who's the bad guy? It's the person doing the cut, because it's never right. There's always other areas you can do it, and sometimes there's not other areas you can do it. So,
If I could interject, the one right point in the future, I believe, is this idea of increasing the investment in our area through residential development, commercial development, ag development, whatever that means, so that our valuations are higher. If you compare us to some other counties have that luxury of having higher valuations because they have more investment in the community. So that's my goal. And I think we as a community should be thinking about, okay, how can we plan for that and encourage that? And eventually, I want to get to that discussion.
and I think with everything, it takes money to make money. And if you ain't got that money, that seed money for whatever it is, again, we're hamstrung, and what we call the Golden Beltway from Council Bluffs to Davenport, they'll continue to get theirs. Enough of my pity party. Anything else? Any other comments on resolution 13, 2023? I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Max levy is set. Cardinal School RSO agreement. Don?
We got 1 year left on the contract that's currently in place. This is just an extension of the contract by 3 years. I'm sure you've probably heard, or if you haven't, I guess I can tell you that it's been a wonderful program down there, Cardinal School. I think Deputy Shag has done an outstanding job in building that program down there, and we want to see it continue. So we have before you is approved contract by the school board, and just looking for your approval.
Perfect. I think me and you went down there to the meetings when it kind of was first getting going, and I agree. I think Deputy Shattuck's done a tremendous job, and I think probably made some good inroads with some kids down there, and develop those relationships. I think is a big part of it. So yeah, a lot of positives came out of it.
No, I agree.
All right, a motion to approve the contract.
I'll make the motion to approve the contract.
Second. Any further discussion? Any other comments? Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Consideration of possible action on application for summer youth EMS internship program.
Well, this is a continuation of what I brought last week on behalf of a working committee, and I have a couple of my comrades with me. So Lori Reeves is here from Indian Hills Community College, and Lori, tell us what your title is again, because I forget.
I'm a coordinator within the continuing education division. I coordinate all non-credit healthcare training.
And one of my EMS mentors, so she's been at it for a while. And then online is Terry Hanna, who's the director of Davis County Ambulance at Davis County Hospital. She was going to be here in person, but couldn't make it because of a out-of-town hospital trip going south to Missouri, but she's back in her office. And then Nikki is online as well. And Nikki, you are director of nursing at Davis County Hospital, correct? I have to
Yes.
because we've been through the profession together and changed titles over the years. So
Yes, that's correct.
with you, Terry,
I'm sorry, what was that?
is Zach with you today?
No, he's actually, he just got off at 24 yesterday.
So Zach
Pardon?
Musgrove, he works for Terry, but also is the ambulance director at Centerville for the Centerville Fire Department serving Appanus County. And then Dave Howard, the ambulance director for Ormix, who is also doing double duty as well. But that's the main folks that's been working on this grant pretty intensely. And last week, I wasn't so positive that we'd have a proposal for you, but I'm pleased that I do have one. And it's just finished it late night. So I'll hit the fire points and I'll lean on Terry and Lori to address any omissions. So last week we talked about what this initiative looks like. It's a summer internship program for geared toward our youth. And the age ranges will be 17 to 24. This is the Future Ready Iowa grant that we're going after. And our thought in that original committee that was born out of Indian Hills' EMS program advisory was to get to the high schools, especially the high school seniors. This particular grant allows us to do that and capture some of the postgraduates. And our thought is that we really need to kind of join the bandwagon, if you will, with some of those dual enrollment programs and some of those type of apprenticeship type initiatives, because they're working extremely well. And there's several good examples. Lori can give some good examples. You've seen a program, Van Buren County, who's also part of this committee. I forgot to mention William Klein, the director of the ambulance down at Van Buren County. They just did one last year for the MR program, which is the basic level EMS that doesn't transport. So what we've proposed for this grant is to partner with the 4 counties, Van Buren, Wapello, Davis, and Appanus. And we've given them some options. I'll point you to the back of this packet to the budget page. We'll talk about money. The maximum ask for 16 students for what the grant will pay is just under 100,000, so 99,524. What we learned very late in the game here is that the grant will not pay for taxes or insurance. We knew the tax part, but we didn't know the insurance, and so that's the work comp. The liability piece is covered by the college because of their student relationship, but the work comp for the internship part is not covered, so you would have to purchase that. So what that means is each of the 4 counties will have to share in that cost. And that's what the 5,173 is. So we had that conversation late yesterday. My proposal for our county is that we did build in an M&A cost, which I typically don't do for grants, but I did for this one. And for Wapello County, I'm totally okay with that. money going to cover that cost. Because I don't have any expectation of payment for the legwork. The other counties, Centerville said they could step up and take care of theirs. I think Carrie, what you said, did you talk to your supervisors?
Yes, our Board of Supervisors were very supportive and felt like it was well worth their time and effort. And they said they will come up with the money.
I think William shared the same sentiment from Van Buren County, so I think we're
Correct.
okay with that piece. What we gave the grant evaluators was some options to say, well, if 99,000 is too much out of that total grant amount, we have some other options. We can go down. We can go to 14 students, we can go to 12 students, and I show you there what that math would look like. You'll see a partnership letter from the WIO program through Iowa Works. They have some ability to pay for some expenses that the grant don't cover if they meet the low income requirements. And that really is the first priority, is to reach our low income and at-risk kids. And then you have a partnership letter from Van Buren County Board of Supervisors. And Terry has one from Davis County and Appomattox County that should be sent to me before I upload the application if you approve it. Before the budget page is the schedule. We'll look at what that timeline looks like. It's a pretty intense summer. So as soon as they get out of school, we start in with the program and we end, I think, with a week in between. And you'll see they go to school 2 days a week, then they do clinical time, and there's some days in there for apprenticeship time. And apprenticeship time and clinical time are pretty similar. It allows them some flexibility to go into other areas of healthcare in the hospitals and clinics to experience some of those allied health fields as part of their internship program. Because one of the things that we've discussed in EMS is that, and if you look at all of us that are on the committee, we started as EMTs and then grew from there and went on to other things. And that's perfectly appropriate and encouraged. Spend some time in the field as an EMT and do that for a while. And then as their interests grow and their abilities and skills grow, then they take on more roles. And so there's always going to be this need to get new young people into the pipeline, and that cycle will always be there. So we're hopeful that this will be accepted by the Future Ready Iowa folks as kind of a proof of concept, and it's something we could repeat and sustain.
So the 16 students, 99,524, that'll all be covered by grant. And then we would cover 5,100 more or less for the other part. And this is right now, this is just really approving to put the grant in. There's no guarantee we're going to get it.
Correct.
I commend you and the staff, everyone that's worked on this, the partnership between, the 4 counties. I think that's great. Especially being in, in Indian Hills district and being able to work together. And I would hope that they would look at the grant favorably because of the partnership between multiple counties. I don't think that's something they probably see a lot of, and definitely with all the moving parts, it's not something we see a whole lot. But will we need to adopt any type of 2080 agreement?
Yes.
If this goes through?
Correct. The grant's due at noon today, and Lori has done a lion's share of the narrative work along with Terry. Those two are really the big hitters here. They've created this document. I just put the pieces together, worked on the budget. So kudos to the team. It was hurry up and get it done kind of thing, but we're EMS people. It's what we do all the time. So yeah, but you're correct. We'll work on agreements and tidying up all the legal stuff if they give us the nod, and we'll be working on that while they're deciding.
Comments? I think it's been very well covered of the need for EMT things. So I think this is the first step, and anything's worth trying for right now. So I would be in favor of supporting the application and monetarily. I would make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Any other comments? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Thanks again, everyone. Request for payroll approval, new hire, conservation aid. This is a part-time position. Is this to fill a vacancy, right?
No.
No.
I mean, years ago.
Okay.
That person's not around.
Okay,
She's been working for the state DNR, state parks, that you got this experience for, particularly to that, has somebody want to work, got experience.
absolutely. I'd make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any other business come before the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to.
May I, I'm Jared with Apex Clean Energy. I was here about a month ago. May I just speak briefly?
Yep.
So I think I went over it last time. Apex Clean Energy is a utility scale wind and solar company. We are looking at some property or an area in the northeast corner of Wapello County. This is the week we do have our leasing agents out there, so I just wanted to stop by, remind you guys that they're out there, and just in case any of the landowners call you up and ask why people are knocking on their doors. That's what we're doing. We're just approaching people. This, again, is entirely voluntary. So we're just out there kind of getting the temperature of the landowners, see what they think. If there's a positive reception, then we will move forward with the project. We will be having a landowner dinner. So any of them that were, as we approach them, we'll be inviting them to a landowner dinner at the Bridgeview Center at 5:30 on Thursday. And it's not a public meeting, so I don't think you guys could have a quorum at it, but if one of you would like to attend, you're more than welcome. What we will be doing is just giving a presentation of what we'd like to see with the project and feeding everybody, of course.
Okay. Excellent.
So I think that's it. Yeah, like I said, if you guys have any questions here, anything, this is just, I live in Burlington, so I'm relatively close. I would like to be here as we move forward to just attend the meetings and take any questions you guys might have.
I did get a call from a gentleman the other day. Nothing to do with the landowner stuff, but just kind of steps maybe we need to take or look at. We don't have anything as far as things like setbacks and different areas along those lines. So we'll probably need to sit down relatively soon and kind of get on the same page.
That's
on
completely
that. So I
yeah,
got your number.
sure. That's completely understandable.
Yep, I'll get with you and we'll sit down along with Jeff and kind of go over some of that stuff.
Yeah, we'd be glad to do so.
Perfect.
All right, thank you.
Any questions? All right, thanks. Anything else? Now you make a motion.
I'd make the motion to adjourn.
Second, those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thanks, everyone. Yes.
Just in case you misplaced my card.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So Darren needs to find out the done.
Well, he already has. So he just going, so there's no such thing as stopping that.
Yeah.